Hi and welcome. Today I have a piece for my homemade art journal, and I start with a piece of normal cardstock. It's 5.5 by 5.5, but you can do whatever size you want. And I picked a piece of jelly print and I just glued the cardstock to the back of the jelly print, and I'm trimming it to size. And got a couple pieces big enough to save for later, and this is my piece I'm using for today. I'm gonna start by collaging some items to the jelly print, and I'm using collage medium to seal the whole thing so that anything that goes on top of it has a barrier, because otherwise it would just seep right into it and be there permanently. But if I do the collage medium, it creates a barrier that I can make changes sometimes. Okay, so I'm just taking some scraps that I have in my stash. This was a stamp that I did on rice paper, and so I'm just putting that down, and then some scrapbook paper, and I use my catalyst to smooth it out as much as possible, and just getting any edges that didn't get glued down well enough. I let that dry a little bit, and then I'm gonna stamp on top of this portion. I have this big floral stamp. It's called Glorious, and it is a Stampers Anonymous Tim Holtz stamp, and I'm gonna use my Versamark because I'm going to do some embossing powder on top of it. And by the way, the rain is really picking up here, and that may be something you hear in the background. And should have waited for it to dry a little longer. You'll see here in a minute that I didn't really let it dry enough, but because my embossing glaze kind of sticks in some of the areas that I didn't want it to, so I'm just taking a small paintbrush and just getting in some of the areas that I don't want the embossing glaze to stick to, and just kind of cleaning it up just a bit. And the color is lumberjack plaid, just in case you wondered what color it was. Put the excess back in the container. I always toss that sheet because I just don't want extra little granules anywhere getting into anything. And I get my heat tool and emboss it. And I'm just kind of straightening my paper up. And you'll see there that I'm in the printing business on my Etsy shop. So I have a lot of scrap that for some reason didn't work out. And so I always have that around. That's why it doesn't bother me just to toss a piece after I use it for something and get a fresh one. So this is a stamp from Rubber Dance, and I stamped it on some real thin paper, and so I'm just collaging that on. And I'm just going to continue adding some collage pieces. The flower square was a piece of a collage strip from Tim Holtz, and the circle right there is just a piece of scrapbook paper that I've punched out. And these butterflies are from a digital download that from Etsy, and I just printed them and fussy cut them out. And I print them on a real lightweight cardstock, almost like index card thickness, and that way it gives it a little bit of weight but not too thick and not hard on my hands to cut out. And so I'm just adding the glue to the body portion, not really to the wings, so that the wings can like not look flat against the paper. And then the numbers I'm gluing down are also from a digital download, and just to add a little bit more something to look at, and not so much of the embossed area. The little punch is just from a book or a magazine, and just sticking it on just for more visual interest. And then I have a number strip from Tim Holtz, just trying to figure out where I want that to go. And adding some distress ink. And I'm going to go around the edges with some vintage photo, just to kind of give it an edge. And I think I go around twice just to darken it up a bit. And I think the last thing I'm going to do is on that number 3, there's a little hole punch area. And I have these little tiny gemmy looking, crystal looking things. They're nothing expensive or anything. And so I just thought I would glue one of these little shiny crystal-y things to cover the hole punch on the little 3 there. So I just put a little drop down, and then I add the crystal. And that is the last thing I do. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have not subscribed, please do. And if you have and you like the piece, well, either way, just give me a thumbs up. But either way, I hope you have an awesome day. Got some final pictures here for you. Have a great day.